Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to Piper Academy. It's me, your host, Piper, and I'm back. I'm actually broadcasting from Daytona, Florida, still continuing my vacation, but I am glad to be back. I have missed you guys so much. Thanks for joining us here today, but I'm not here alone because my partner in crime that has been carrying the weight for me while I've been out here degenning on vacay. My man, OC guy, bro. What's up, dude? How you doing, man?
What's up, Piper? So great to have you around. Always a joyful time to see you around. And I mean, we're doing fine. We're doing fine. We've been missing you a ton, especially the public always shouting out here. So, hey, Piper, hey, Piper. But yeah, we've been carrying on as much as we can, but it's nothing without, it's not the same without you, brother.
Well, I appreciate it, man. I've missed you guys. I've missed being on the show. I'm sorry I haven't been available. We were out in Disney and Universal, so we were doing some very early days to try to get to the parks and get all the rides in, because I'm an adrenaline junkie. So went and did all that stuff. So some of those mornings were way before I was out the door, way before the show would have even started. But I'm glad to be back, guys. First off, thank you guys for continuing to support the alumni here on Piper Academy and OC. Thank you and Tradefly for holding it down for me while I was spending way too much money at a park. But I do have a funny story about that. Crux was out here with us, and he had a flight from Pensacola to Orlando, the last leg of the flight on day one of the Orlando trip, and his flight got canceled. So he had to rent a car and drive out to Orlando. So yeah, he pulled up to Disney in a Tesla. The irony was not lost on me for that. He pulled up in the car made by the guy that said, "Go F yourself." And then, "Hey Bob," which is the CEO of Disney. So not lost on me at all. Great story to tell there. But I am glad to be back. Still doing the vacay thing. I'm actually looking at the waves crashing up on the Daytona coast over here to my left, off of my room. But let's get into the news, man. We got news. The markets have dumped. We've got some downside on almost everything, some more than others, which we're going to talk about that. Little story about Bonk in the news today. And OC is going to cover some of those stories. Then we're going to dig into some TA and find out, are the markets in trouble? Is there a chance for a bounce here? Where are we looking at support at? Once we get into start showing the charts, I've seen some definitive things. We're going to talk about that, so stick around for that. But OC, let's go ahead and kick this off and get some news and articles going.
Absolutely. Let's take a look at a couple of news that we have in here. I mean, it seems like Solana Saga sold for 10x the price on eBay in bunk craze. So as you may already know, I mean, the Solana phone is a Web3 based phone, which usually give you, or it was advertised to give you some bunk coins on the purchase of this. So remember how Bonk has been just flying up recently? Let's take a look at what this article says. Solana Saga, despite initially struggling to reach sales expectations, recently sold out in a major part of the world after meme coin traders found out the flagship Web3 phone came with generous back of one of the hottest Shiba Inu teamed token in the market right now, called Bong, of course. As Solana, a inaugural meme coin, takes flight, traders are going bonkers trying to get their hands on the Web3 phone, allowing owners to capitalize on the rising demand. So remember, and you can see here that first of all, this the sales of this phone, they were very, very kind of like a midget phone sales. They were only 2,500 units, falling massively short of those 550,000. And now there's only a couple of those kind of like being able to be grabbed on Europe. So any thoughts on that, Piper? I mean, of course I would have even given it a shot, but I don't know. I'm not into Web3 phones just now.
Well,
But what do you
well, you got to
think?
remember. You got to remember, there was a lot of people trying to get their hands on Bonk, and because of U.S. regulation, which we'll talk about that here in a few too. They had a lot of things going on where you can't get Bonk in the U.S., so they were having to either use a VPN and buy it someplace else, or wait for Coinbase to come out. This gave a window of opportunity for some people to pick up a little bit of Bonk and get a free phone for it. So but it's not all fairy tales and unicorns and rainbows out to that purchase of that phone. Okay, you got your bonk, good, and then it also came on Coinbase. And if you bought your bonk, good, you have it. And then we had another story that came out, and it touches me right in the heart and the wallet. So we'll talk
Oh.
about that too. So yeah, you got another story there going along with that there, don't you?
Absolutely bonk loses 40% of its value in 3 days. Can it recover? Well, then, spoiler alert, I do believe it's gonna be recovering, especially after all of those phones being sold. I mean, remember that we haven't even entered yet on the on the halving. For me, the initial step is just going into the halving, seeing that huge volume rushing to Bitcoin, then that volume coming out of Bitcoin and going to the top 20, top 10 coins. And that's when we start seeing a couple of big movements because we redefine what's going to be the new top 30, top 50 coins. And that's what I believe Bonk could be and should be having a massive opportunity there. So yeah, I mean,
Yep.
Bonk has been the latest example of the FOMO and the heavily overbought cryptocurrency market over a snap of just 3 days. Bonk, so its value tumbled by 40%, sparkling in instead intense discussions among investors and market speculators about its ability to recover. I still do believe it's going to recover. What do you think, Piper?
Well, let's go back to side by side here, and let me tell my story about Bonk. So so yeah, guys, look, I had to wait for Coinbase because I didn't want to do the decentralized purchases. I was in travel mode and I don't have my system that I'm normally on. So I was like, you know what? I need to get some bonk. Obviously, I need to have some exposure to this meme coin. But remember, there is a cycle that happens. Bitcoin pumps, Ethereum pumps, alts pump, meme coins pump. We've gone through the cycle. Meme coins are starting to get a little pullback, and you know how it goes with Coinbase. They are the dreaded curse of anything that gets listed. It will pump going into it, gets listed on Coinbase, pulls back. I thought I had a really good pullback on it, and I bought some bonk. I am currently down almost 20% on my bonk purchase, but that's okay. It's a long term hold for me. I still have plenty of dry powder, and pullbacks like we're seeing right now is exactly why I preach about dry powder, dry powder, dry powder, and take profit, take profit, take profit. No one's ever gone broke taking profit. Um,
Exactly.
and so, yeah, I am down. I am down a little bit on my bonk right now. Oh yeah, happy birthday to Army Pipe. Thanks, I appreciate it, guys. My birthday was yesterday. I will not. I will not release how old I am. It's up there though. But yeah, so it is what it is. I got the bonk. It's down a little bit. I'm not overly worried about it. I think that we're going to see a rally again on bonk, along with all the other meme coins because they do. And I do think when you look at all of the meme coins that are out there, probably SNEC, and not financial advice, obviously, but SNEC and bonk are probably going to be the two that I think are the most shibbish, if you will, in this next bull run. SHIB, of course, doing a 46 million% run from its bottom in the last bull run. So yeah, I'm down a little bit right now, but it's a long-term hodl for me. I'm not concerned about that at all. And yeah, it is what it is, right? That's we take our lumps, we take our profits, we take our chance to buy DCA and take those opportunities, and then we move on. So let's get into the don't you dare ZTS Rhythm. You are not allowed to give away my age. I will turn off your room. I pay the bills. I turned it off. Let's
I,
go
I,
ahead.
I might be give a little hint. It's above 15, and that's it, right?
And below 75.
Exactly. There you go. Give it a
Let's go
guess.
let's go ahead and get into talking about um, the story, the headline story today, guys. And this might be the reason for the pullback. Because if we take a look at the stocks that we're going to look at in a moment, stocks are taking off today and rallying a little bit harder than what we're seeing in crypto. But this might be the reason for it. Let's go ahead and get into this article, Hosty, kick it off.
Absolutely. Crypto faces uncertain future in U.S. Senate as support for the fact of ban grows. So we might be seeing that, that hype against Bitcoin kind of like started taking off. I don't know if that's going to have a bright future. I expect not to, but let's take a look at what it says. In a recent development, concerns are rising within the cryptocurrency community as it has been reported that a significant portion of the U.S. Senate is supporting the facto ban on cryptocurrencies and Bitcoin. So, guys, if you're in the state and you're not liking this, remember those are your senators, so you need to write them a little letter there. So, John E., not political advice, by the way, John E. debating the founders of Crypto Law US asserts that approximately the 20% of the Senate has already expressed their support fact such a ban. This move is seen as a significant threat to the crypto industry, with Senator Elizabeth Warren, a Massachusetts, taking a leading role in the shaping of the narrative. So, what is your take there, Piper? I mean, you are based on the states, so what is up with that? Let us know.
Well, let's go side by side, and I will give political advice because I think it's not a crime. Um, Look at the policies that your representatives and your senators and your congressmen and all these people that you vote for, look at their policies. Take a look at it. If you go to if you type in to a search engine Coinbase uh, politicians, you will find a link for a site that Coinbase has literally worked with another team to give you the rankings and the policy stance on crypto that your elected officials take. You need to be aware of the policies that your do the politicians that you're voting for have policies that align with your beliefs, your world, your life, and if they don't vote for that person. So Auntie Warren, Auntie Elizabeth, as T.A. Tim calls her, because Tim Warren, she has stances against crypto that will never ever anyone in line with her beliefs will never get a vote from me. So political advice: know the policies of those you're voting for, and if they don't align with you, that's probably not the person to vote for. I don't care what the party is. So yeah, there you go. That's my stance on that. Shout out to Bedridden, by the way, and shout out to Gia S out there holding it down with the blue wrench. Elo Brown, TradeFly. If you guys don't know, TradeFly starting in January will be the third member here on the show. It's going to be a 3-man show. That way, we've always got coverage for you guys. Always bringing TA multi-perspective, and the more people. No one is as smart as all of us together. That's what we're going to try to come together and do with bringing you guys knowledge. So shout out to TradeFly. It is awesome to have him on there. And then Ada Ace in here in the house, ZTS Rhythm. He just got back last night from this trip. I said, hey, come out and do Disney with us, and then I sent him back home and said, get back to work. Christian Major in here. Nancy Croy, she said she is 70 and she's proud of her age. You know what, Nancy? You're right. I'm 50, guys. I'm 50 years old. I'm a half a century old. I'm older than Bitcoin, but younger than all of the politicians that make all the decisions for us in DC. So let's go and take a look now. Taking a look. Let's jump over to my charts here, and I'm going to show you guys what I'm seeing right now on stocks, and then we're going to go ahead and jump in and take a look at crypto. Right now, guys, Clean Spark absolutely pumping up hard. Shout out there to my boy Elo Brown, who loves his mining stock. So it's getting some movement today, guys. Really good movement, much better than Bitcoin. Bitcoin's only up about 0.75%. Clean Spark up 4.89% now. Taking a look at NVIDIA, it's moving up right now. Tesla moving up, getting a nice bounce off of that golden pocket there. It's looking pretty good, and I'm happy for that. Amazon getting its move. Google's getting its move. And if we go down here, let me just take a quick look and show you these overalls. Let's look at US 30 here, guys. US 30 looks what's going to be, this is a 12-hour chart. Looks like we're kind of doing some pennant here going on. And actually, if we take it down to 4-hour, we're probably going to have a nice little wedge there. Yeah, we got it. There we go. Let's grab this. Let's just go ahead and do this here. Looks like we're going to have this coming across and then a flat level on the top here. Come on, work with me. There we go. It looks like we're going to have that ascending wedge there. So that's going to be a good thing. Probably going to get a breakout on the Dow, US 30 futures, the ES1 again doing the same thing, getting that triple top here. See if that's going to break in the NASDAQ. So it looks like a lot of money has moved over into stocks. And I wonder if it is because of what we saw there on what we saw there with that article about the Senate and the, Elizabeth Warren doing her shenanigans because she gets paid by banks. But overall, guys, looking at the stock markets, they do look like they're moving. I do want to go and take a look here. That's Bitcoin dominance coming back up. But what I want to look at here is the Dixie. And I apologize if any of this is fumbling through on the charts because I'm doing this from a much smaller system than what I have at home. But I felt I needed to come and be here with you guys today. So it does look like the Dixie is getting some rounding off here. Signal lines running flat, starting to get red candles here on the RS Prime. So maybe we're going to get it more downside on the Dixie here, and that would be fantastic for the crypto markets. Justin Eubanks, what's up, man? Eric Wallen in the house here too. And that's who I meant to say. Eric Wallen is my mining bro who would be loving that clean spark. So let's go ahead and jump into Bitcoin. I want to take a look at Bitcoin and show you guys a couple of things here. One, Bitcoin is getting some movement up today. Like I said, it's up about 0.75% from last night. You can see the candle here on this 4-hour getting some movement. But let's go over here to my favorite chart because I want to show you guys there's a little bit of stuff going on that's going to give you the idea that there's not a whole lot to worry about. And here's why. Let me turn off some of these drawings here. Let me turn off my Mexican spaghetti here, OC style. So, guys, we're in phase 3 on the chart here, and we almost hit that platinum pocket, that 786, very close to it, like within, like what was it? Let's see here, 44,690, and that was 45.2. So about $500, $700, somewhere in that ballpark of hitting that 786. We're still sitting within one candle here. With the first candle that closed within phase 3, we're still within that body of that candle. So this is a good thing. We could technically pull all the way back down to 36,340 and still be in this pattern for the 3-phase cycles, okay? The reason that I say this is that drop would be back into the golden pocket here, right? Let's go back and take a look at the previous cycle and see what happened. Well, first off, we had the first window where it got rejected and we went back into phase 2, okay? But if we take a look, a lot of support came from the golden pocket there. If we move forward where I think we are now, I actually think that we are in the phase 3 period without falling out. If we go back one more cycle here, you'll see once we entered in pre-halving, we were in there and we came back. We did have one crazy wick that went down below it, but for the most part, our support came from the golden pocket here and from the golden pocket here. If we are looking a lot like that 2015 cycle at what we have now, that would be what I could see happening is a pump here. Maybe another rejection off that 786 at 45,246. But if we continue to the downside, I'm going to be watching this golden pocket bouncing at 36,340 for the bottom, 38,387 for that 0.66 there is where I'm going to be watching for that bounce to happen there. And that would still be a bullish structure. Overall, the biggest thing to know is as long as we do not break this diagonal 786 on this channel, we're going to be looking very healthy on the market still. I'm not concerned about a little pullback. If anything, this is why we talk about having dry powder. This is your moment to DCA. One of the first comments in the chat today was it's DCA time. Good DCA in times ahead. Absolutely. And that is what I plan to do. Take advantage of these opportunities. Don't be scared. Don't sell out. Not financial advice, but you never want to be that person. I don't want to be that person that sold because I got scared on a pullback and then it takes off the next day. That is how it usually happens. For me, at least. So, don't be concerned. Looking at Bitcoin on the lower time frames right now, we can see, and I want to point something out to you guys. The power of Chart Prime here. Here comes my Chart Prime shill. Get ready. I tell you guys all the time, we typically trade between the two golden bands here on predictive ranges. There's your top frame. There's your lower support, upper resistance, gold trade band, your delta median right there in the middle. Guys, we rejected on the 12-hour here on the upper trade band, and then we bounced all the way down to the lower trade band, and we have tested it twice as support. There is your trade band that we typically trade in between. I have mine set on 12-hour, just so you guys know. And OC.
Something just kind of like a pop. I don't know what happened there. Yeah.
I'm over here watching. I'm like, we're not starting the stream. We're in the stream, OC. But yeah, we are getting a bounce there. We came down, getting trend support, still turning green here. If you guys look, let's go all the way back. If we go all the way back to here, we had our strong buy signal back here on the 1st of October, and we're still running a continuation with that trend assist. That's that green line running there. Still looking strong there, getting a bounce. That's at 40,530, 500, 40,005. We'll call it 40,500. That is about the range that we're getting that bounce from that lower trade band. So we're still looking good there. Let's take a look at the oscillators and see what we got going here. We are starting to get a closing of the momentum cloud here. I think that we're going to actually have a good opportunity here for some upside, and here's why. I say that when I say good opportunity for upside, that can literally be like today's candle goes up instead of down, and then tomorrow we're back down and we go sideways. We can get movements like this, guys. The last cycle on my favorite chart that everyone likes to talk about here, we actually had like weeks. This is almost 2 months of sideways action here. This is like a whole month of sideways action. These are 1 week candles. So we could see running all the way into January, having this occur on that sideways movement. Why is that relevant, you ask? Well, let me show you why that's relevant. If we pull over here and take a look at the economic calendar, nope, it's actually going to be the CME. There we go. And we take a look at January. Guys, we have an 8.3% chance of a rate cut in January as of right now. We're looking at a 91.7% chance in January of a continuation of a pause. This was at 10%, almost 11% this morning. It's actually changed since we've sat down to start the show, OC and I. This could be part of the reason why we're seeing that. This is relevant because you guys think that when we have rate cuts, well, a lot of people, I'm not going to say you guys, because you guys are smarter than the rest. You're alumni for the Piper Academy, right? Typically, people think that when we get rate cuts, the price is going to move up and we're going to go to the upside. That's not typically what happens. This right here is actually not good news. This 70.6% chance of easing of rate cuts that's going to happen in March here is not necessarily a good thing. Tim showed this before over on Investing Bros. This is a fantastic example of what happens with Fed pivots. 1969, we had a Fed pivot. They cut rates. Guys, 36% drop there. 1973, 48% drop there. 1981, 27% drop. Let's move forward in time. 2000, we'd had rate cuts. After a rate increase, markets went down. 51% drop on that one. 2007, almost 60% drop. 2019, Fed pivot, 35% down. So typically over the past 6 rate cut cycles that we've had in history, going back to 1969, we have had market pullbacks. Markets have dumped after that. I'm not going to go too far in on this one here, on this 2019 one, because what you have in there is that 2020 dump from the coronavirus, and that I don't think is a fair thing to have in here. But I will point out that that rate cut did actually have a 35% drop. Still, it could have been already dropping before, and it was just exaggerated on how much it went down because of the coronavirus. So it is very possible that in 2023, we could see some pullback. So I'm still keeping dry powder for that. But I do think as of right now, we have some strong levels to watch. One of them being, like I said, that 34,000. What is it exactly? Let me go get that exact number because I don't want to give you bad numbers. That's going to be that 36,340. I think that is going to be a strong level to watch. And if we take a look over here, we could get into that $37,000 to $35,000 range, which would be the golden pocket. But as of right now, we are holding that 786 as support, fighting to stay above it with that lower trade band, giving it that little extra jump there to keep itself up there. Let's go and take a look at Ethereum, guys. We talked about this one. If we go back to the 4-hour, you guys remember a video a couple weeks ago, and I said, look, Ethereum, we're getting these levels. We had a little breakout here. We had another one here, little breakout there, and we were starting this again. Well, we got a dump out of that one. It did not get what these previous ones had done. And I said, but keep in mind, we've had this long running trend line that went way, way back. And I said, we have not come back to test it as support. Well, since I've been gone, we did that, and it came back and dinged off of it, went up, and then we came back and tested again. Guys, we've broken it, and as of right now, we are testing that as resistance. Looks like we're trying to get this candle close above it, but on this 4 hour, if it can't get above this and test this as support again, we do have a strong sell indicator, and we are sitting beneath that dynamic reactor, which is a super powerful chart prime moving average on crack. So keep in mind that that's what's going on there. However, on the oscillators, we do have oversold blocks that are printing. We are starting to get that narrowing of the candles going on there on the RSI prime, and we are deep in the signal line of the Ichimoku cloud oscillator. So could be getting something here, but this line of resistance that we are beneath right now, we're actually a fraction, a hair above it. This could be a rejection that sends us down for even more downside on Ethereum, depending on what Bitcoin does. It's all dependent upon Bitcoin today. So, OC, you got anything you want to show on the charts? And then I'm going to go ahead and prep up the next one I'm going to show, which is Caspa, and then we're going to talk about bulk. So, go ahead.
Absolutely. So, I have a couple of trades already open. I'm already in a couple of trades that we've previously kind of like looking at. Look at how many alarms we have been ringing. So let's go over a couple of those, not all of those, because that's going to take forever. But guys, if you want to also take a look at what we should be in, go back and watch the previous TA on the Piper's Academy. So let's get started with render. So what happened with render? We basically went in after a breakout, after a flip of the ribbon, jumping back in here. Right now we're looking at the 1 hour, but let's take a look at what happened there on the 4 hour. So on the 4 hour, we had that breakout. Let's just give it a second for it to load. We went all the way up to our next resistance. Remember that as soon as I take my first resistance and close above in the green, I move my stop to entry and take 50% out, which means I went out of this trade with 50% in. What I was expecting, it was a bounce, but instead we have a breakthrough with that beautiful bounce from that channel that we have forming up here and basically going back to that channel. So guys, also look at that. We have that flip of the ribbon. Remember that at this point, we're also looking at what Bitcoin might be doing. Talking about Bitcoin, we do have an entry on Bitcoin. So let's remember what we're talking about. We were looking at this exact section. Remember that I was looking for both this little movement to the upside as we needed to bounce right away. And did we bounce? Yes, we bouncing here, going for that dead cat bounce. And then our big support zone that was right between the dynamic reactor and then also a trend line that we had going on there. Let me see if I can find the trend line. It's not there anymore. It just updated. Remember that with chart prime we have updated trend lines. Nonetheless, let me show you where that trend line was, going from here to here. So basically that was the trend line. Let me also clean up a little bit of this spaghetti. So we are at support, going for that possible retest. At this point, we are on a sell signal, and now it's time for me to clean the charts up permanently. All right, so look at that consolidation score. As we were expecting, very high consolidation score, which means that we are not only at the range zone, but also we are right at the end of the range. Remember 8, 9, and 10. We should be almost about to break in there. So be careful here because we are on big support. Again, we're having some reversal signals in here. Also, look at this pattern that we have. Remember, we have going down strength on the ADX and also shifting on the side of that bearish squeeze. So losing that momentum and losing that strength usually goes for that bounce. So we need to be careful with this big resistance zone as long also with, within also this trend line happening here. So we're not out of the blue right now, but it seems like we are still ranging and we need to see where does that range could be breaking through. Let's go to IMX. So beautiful entry right there. Remember, guys, that I was not entering. I was at our previous alarm setting. All right. Why? Because I did not have that flip of the ribbon playing out there. So right now I'm on the 1 hour, but let me show you at the 4 hour what we were looking at. All right. So at the 4 hour, we had the center of that channel there. So as we previously were looking for, I was looking for that minimum rejection, all right? But not until I have the confirmed flip of the ribbon to the upside or to the downside. Where did I have that confirmation of that flip of the ribbon? Okay, guys, 1 second here.
What you got going on there, OC? You need me to take over?
Oh, no, that's fine. I got it now. Sorry, yeah, for
Okay.
that the distraction there. Yeah, someone was calling me right now, but yeah. Basically, we made that flip, that confirmation. Look at that double confirmation by breaking through that zero line, also breaking through that golden range that we had there, and then basically enter on that trade all the way down here to a reversal. TP number one taking here, and then I'm waiting to see if we have that breakthrough or retest with a maybe second flipping here to be able to either take all of my entry there or cut it short right there. And finally, well, that's basically all I got at this point. I would love to throw it back to you, Piper.
Yep. Yeah, I got some Caspa TA. So let's get into this and let's talk about it. So taking a look at Caspa here, guys, you can see I lied to you. I lied to all of you, and I apologize. I told you you may never. Well, I didn't really lie. I was wrong. I was wrong. I told you you may never ever be able to get Caspa at 11.2 cents again, and that it was going down there. It went down 20% and hit that target perfectly on 11.2 cents right there. Never came back to it. Never came back to it. And now we have broken it and almost retested 11.2 as resistance, and we're continuing down. Guys, we are currently getting support on the lower frame of predictive ranges here. This purple line you see right here, that is going to be your value area low. If we go back and take a look at what that's coming from, here we go. This is your fixed range volume profile coming from the beginning of the run up all the way through the sector. Our push down, our resistance and rejection point here, guys, is going to be right here on the point of control, which is also your phase 6 golden pocket that I've been showing you guys for a hot minute. We have now broken down past the 11.2 and tagged the phase 4 at 9.6 cents. Then it should be a good point to jump into Caspa. Gia, not financial advice, but yes, that is what I'm seeing. T-Shroom in the house, Alex O Crypto in the house. This is fantastic. With for you mean oscillator direction changing its color? Yes. Astis, that is what he means. That is the flip of the ribbon. That is when that ribbon twists. And here, I'll just show you a quick example of it because we're actually looking like we might get that here soon. That is where you get these little, let me bring this up into focus here. That is where you get these flips here in the ribbon where it changes color and it pinches. It doesn't always change color immediately, but it pinches, and that gives you, hey, we've got some momentum going on here, and it's moving in a change of direction. So when he says FOR, that is that flip of the ribbon right there. So what we're seeing here and what I will apply this to is the question that Gia asked: is this a good time to get into some Caspa? I cannot tell you when to get into it, but I will tell you that for myself. And for Crux, who's listening right now, because he's been looking for another opportunity to get some more Caspa, this might be a decent time if Bitcoin continues up. If it doesn't, guys, watch for this right here. This 9 cent mark on that value area low is going to be where I think it heads to if we do not hold this phase 4 golden pocket. But again, if you're not, if you're not aping in, if I'm not aping in and I'm buying in pieces, yeah, right now would be where I would be looking to do a little bit of it. And then I would do hold some more to see if it hits this phase 4 golden pocket right here at 9.6 cents. And then again, at that value area low, which is coming in right at 9 cents. So that's what I'm seeing there. It does look like we're getting a little bit of just sideways grind here on the oscillator while this cloud is coming down. And when this cloud comes down, it's going to start pinching, and that will be another opportunity, just like we had here. where we had upside, go back here, find another one where it got narrow at the bottom. Yep, right there. And that one was a huge move, led to all of this movement. So I am watching these oscillators closely. I'm watching these trend fib extensions going on here. Alex O, I can't speak English. I'm going to need you to come down from Canada and help me out. And then also on the RSI Prime, guys, we are getting a green candle here, way below that 30%. And it is looking like it's got some nice growth on that candle body. So the last time that we had hit in the signal line here, I will point this out. The last time we had hit the signal line here on the Ichimoku, though, we did even have the uptrend arrow, and that was that move there. We could get a little pump up and then more downside, just like we saw right here. So keep that in mind. But yeah, that's what I'm seeing on Caspa today. And those are the levels that I'm watching: 9.6 cents and 9 cents for support, looking at 11.2 to be your level of resistance if this candle continues to the upside. That is what I have for Caspa. Let's go ahead and let me pull up a couple other tokens here that I want to talk about. Solana, obviously. Solana, we had my box up here, the 50%. We broke through it. We actually got up to that upper trade band right there of the predictive ranges. There's your bottom trade band coming in on the 382. And then we have the Delta right here. Delta's giving us our support right above this dynamic reactor. Solana still looking bullish, folks. Just because of this, you can see that the prime score 9, meaning it's still got a continuation of trend to the upside. And then we have a consolidation score that is low, which means it's not really in a consolidation. It is just continuing to make higher lows and higher highs. So we're going to keep an eye on Solana here. Solana looking much more bullish than a lot of the other charts that I'm seeing. We are getting the uptrend here, arrow on the oscillator, and that FOR right there for that flip of the ribbon. Be careful though. We have a green candle here on the RSI Prime. We've had 2 of those previously, and all it did was pump and then back down, pump back down, pump back down. This looks like a correction. That would be the 1, 2, 3 correction. So this could be good here right now, but I'm feeling bullish because this test on the dynamic reactor, just like a test on the dynamic reactor, just like a test. At the end of the day, in Piper Academy, every time that Solana has tested on the dynamic reactor, it has gotten an A+. So there you go. That's what I'm seeing for Solana. OC, pull up something else that is moving, and I'm going to go ahead and prep a bonk chart.
Absolutely. Let's take a look at here, and let me jump into my charts here. So a couple of alerts that we've been hitting. So it seems I already have removed all of my alerts. So let's go here and then see, like, for example, super micro, that we were looking at this section below this ranging zone. So we've been following super micro. Seems that super micro entry basically nailed it again. Look at that. We were looking at that reversal. We were basically at the center of that little range on the cloud. Oh, sorry, on the right, very near to that dynamic reactor. Remember that we were expecting that YCAF pattern to be playing out, and it did. So we're breaking here. So we need to be a little bit careful here, because we could be facing a little reversal, but not quite there yet. So we're breaking through that previous resistance. And what I will be looking for, it's maybe going all the way here, going for that retest, and then bouncing back up in here. Remember, I will be looking for the flip of the ribbon all the way up here, or as soon as it happens, or when I start having a couple of those reversal signals happening there. So let's go over any other also on other trade that we have going on here. So and fee. So let's take a look at what we were expecting there. So let's go to the 4 hour. We are here, and we were looking at a range. Remember that first of all, we were saying that going down, little range, V-shaped recovery, and the high not higher than the previous range there. All right. And then on the way down, we were looking, all right, we had a previous low. We have a very big wicking here. So we could be drawing this trend line here. All right. So depending on what could be happening on this trend line, we could be either confirming or denying the Wyckoff pattern, which is basically a range. All right. So remember that as we were expecting, we bouncing here, going back up to the top, and now we broke this line here, basically going to the previous low down here, confirming the Wyckoff method. All right, so it seems like we took two trades. We took this one, we took this one, and then we got stopped out with profits on this center trade. So let's see. Good morning, everyone. Alex, oh, what's up, Adino? Shout to your brother Eric Willen, and also Tishun. What's up, brother? And Trade Flight. So right now we're having right here those change of candles. I mean, look at that. Previously, what we have had with those candles, we did have a little bit more movement, but at this point, we are right at that previous zone where we have pull up and have that double bottom. All right, so I am expecting a further movement to the upside to this next confluence zone, and then take note what is going to be happening with the breakthrough that zero line, or the continuation for maybe a breakthrough, retest, and off we go to impact dynamic reactor. So we're still bearish, guys. So, but I mean, I'm start saying that Wyckoff maybe accumulation zone, which we could be now be reversing instead of a redistribution zone that's playing out there. Piper, do you have maybe something else, or would you want me to go to something like Solana maybe?
No, I've got. I've already done Solana. We talked about it. I just showed it, but let me go ahead and do Bonk, and let's knock out Bonk and show people what we're looking at here. Because guys, we got a couple of things going on here. Let me go ahead and turn this off first, and let's just talk about Bonk. Price action here from its peak here, which was all the way up at 0.00000349. We came down here. Wow, 46, 47%. That's a big, huge drop. This is going to be about the time right here that it got listed on Coinbase, right there at the top. So congratulations, Coinbase. You post things at the last second every time. Taking a look at the oscillators here. We did have a little pull up here on the green. And now on the prime, RSI prime, we're actually coming back down. It looks like we're going to be heading to the 30, guys. Honestly, we're not getting any shortening of the candles here. Even though the candle's going up, we are looking at a decent size candle body here on RSI prime. These are Heikin-Ashi candles, so it's an average. The candle body is an average, not a true open and close. And that's how Heikin-Ashis work. So it looks like we are going to get some more downside here. I'm actually going to be watching for a couple of key levels here. And those levels I'm going to show you are based on fixed range volume profile and based on the Fibonacci. Looking here on the Fibonacci's, we are coming in right now and getting our support on this 0.5. That is going to be your 50% line. Anything below 50%, in my opinion, is bearish. Anything above it is bullish. I think we're actually going to probably end up breaking this. Also sitting right beneath that is the value area high, which is the fixed range volume profile for this entire period of time. I don't think that we're going to be coming down to the value area low and the point of control. I just don't see that happening. Anything's possible, but I don't see that happening. If we take a look at where I think that we will probably be heading to here, if we break this value area high at 50%, it's going to be the golden pocket. We've got previous areas here, previous areas here. It is now support, and it would be a good test to come back down, test that 618 down there. If you want to get that price number, let me make it nice and big for you so you can get this on your screenshot. And then you guys will be able to get it. There you go. There's that 618. It's going to be 0.00000155. There you go. Had to look there. Too many zeros in these numbers, man. But yeah, that's what I'm watching there for that. If we do get that breakdown below that 50% line on Bonk, looking at that 618 for support right there. So that is what I'm seeing for Bonk. The oscillator's not looking too pretty yet. So I would like to see more downside here. And then I'll probably add to that position so that I can recorrect. Just so you're tracking, it was the 382 that I bought on. So I'm now down from that 382 to now about 19%. So maybe not 20%. It's only like 19, I guess. But yeah, OC. Let's go ahead and jump into side by side and talk this out, because I do have a whole day plan that I got to get to. But But I think we've covered a lot of TA today, guys. The main point is the thing to remember is we're going to have pullbacks. It's healthy for the markets. Don't stress. Don't worry. The markets aren't over. No matter what people try to do, the cycles continue on. It's a 4-year thing, and we're still in it to win it. So take advantage of these moments. Yes, there is some trouble brewing on the charts right now. There is some potential trouble in the future with the price, with the rate cuts occurring. That's usually pullbacks in the markets. But as long as you're saving the dry powder and looking past the halving for your full deployment, the windows between now and April of 2024, these pullbacks, these are amazing opportunities that I'm going to be taking advantage of. OC, I'm sure you will be also. And I hope that the alumni are taking note and paying attention, because you will be quizzed on this in 2025 in the fall. What you got, OC?
So not much, just chatting here with Jacob. He was DMing me about a couple of things that we're gonna be implementing on the charts. But it seems like we're gonna be having a couple of updates. Not already a release confirmed, but we're gonna have a fine-tuned version of the latest market oracle. Probably after New Year. Still not date confirmed, but it seems like we could be even farther optimizing those indicators. So yeah, guys. Yes, absolutely. So guys, I don't think we talked about this, but if you like coffee, you should be looking at legendary 10% off aviation coffee. Here we go. Also, guys, if you're not following us, please follow us at Ari Piper and at the Real OCG. And Piper, I know you have a very short schedule to go to, so should we wrap it up?
Yeah, guys, be watching. We're heading into the holidays. We might see some volatility in the weeks ahead. Just keep looking at that Dixie, keep looking at Bitcoin. And when you see that everything is kind of moving in that flow where there's more downside, get your buy-ins ready. That's not financial advice, but that is the best way to deal with these types of markets, in my opinion, my humble opinion. He said, I just bought another 5K in ADA. It's $1,000 in US dollars. Alex O is buying more ADA, just so you know. January, though, guys, completely new setup that I'll be broadcasting from. Piper Academy is upping the game. I have a new studio that I'm having built right now. And it's going to be going live in January. We're going to be adding TradeFly to the show for a 3-man show. We're going to be having project updates coming out, deep dives on projects coming out from Crux. He's going to be doing Crux's curriculum. Eventually, once ZTS Rhythm is fully up and running, he's going to be doing some deep dives into blockchain games and what he thinks of them, breaking down the actual game. How fun is this game? How easy was it to use? Was there any profitability without money in? Like, what is the ROI on this, return on investment? So he's going to be doing some stuff like that with the whole rubric. We've got a lot of content that we're going to be bringing your way to include some education stuff that we are going to be offering. So, guys, we're looking forward to 2024. Let's finish out 2023 strong. Remember to keep your money dry on the side, ready to deploy when you need to, and keep tuning in right here every Monday through Friday on Piper Academy at 9:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, where we bring you the knowledge, the charts, and everything you need to make money in this crazy, crazy world we live in. Guys, thanks for joining us here. OC will be back here tomorrow morning. Hopefully I can jump in on that one also. But then later on this week, full steam ahead. We're going to be back up and running. I'll be back home from this vacation. Thanks for joining us today, guys. Trade safe, stay primed, and as always, use a stop loss.
That was awesome, dude!
Perfect. We're out of the stream now.